Yes, dude. Oh man, we're back. What's up? Willie B Pod. In the cut, man. What does that mean, in the cut? I don't know what that means. Rappers say it, and I don't know what it means. I think it means like in the mix, right? Shucking, jiving. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm keeping all this. Normally, would start over. I'm keeping this part. You're getting the real me, man. How are you doing? Okay? Enough about me. How are you? How's your week going? Happy Valentine's Day. More importantly, the Netflix Festival show is on sale now. Yes! If you missed that, Los Angeles, I'm doing an hour of jokes, and the Netflix is a joke comedy festival. Friday, May 3rd, at the Hollywood Improv. Just sounds cool to say, man. And even cooler that it's finally on sale. So get your tickets now. It's in the description. There's only 50 seats in that room, so it's going to be a very intimate evening with me. But that's great, man. It's awesome. And it's probably going to sell out fairly quickly. I don't really know how quickly it'll sell out. You know, you don't really know. Could be in a day, could be in a week. I don't really know. But regardless, if you want to go to that show, I would get tickets right now. So that's what I'll say. I'm very excited about it. Let me make sure the tickets are still available as I sit down to record this. Yeah, still up. Still there. Still available. Plenty of tickets. No, people have already said they're buying tickets, so don't wait. Very excited about that show. And I am finally announcing a bunch of tour dates in a couple of weeks. At the end of the month, I'm going to announce a whole thing of tour dates. We have right now is 12 different cities, and more are going to be added. So I'm going to announce it starts in April. So April to September, I'm going to give you all those tour dates in a couple of weeks. Finally, man, things are fucking rocking and rolling. I'm so excited, man. This has been a weird couple of months, just sitting back, just existing and just in town working on my craft. I'm so used to the chaos that is the road, and which I've been out there. I've been in the cut, right? But I'm excited to do my own shows again because I've gotten better as a comedian. That's so cool, man. It's like when I come back to your city, which I'm going back to a lot of cities I went to last year, I'm just going to be better. It's fucking great, you know? And a lot of those cities, it's going to be a fairly different show. I'd say, could be, 20% different, could be 50% different. And plus the crowd work will always be different. So I very much keep that in mind. If you come to see me again, I'm mindful of what set I did last time to try to give you guys a unique experience every time. I'm thinking it all through, baby. So yeah, look out for that. That's all the administrative stuff, really. And subscribe. Do that. Subscribe to the pod. Do it right now. I'll wait. You don't think I'll just sit here while you subscribe? I'll wait. Okay, I won't wait, but please do that if you don't mind. And yeah, dude, happy Valentine's Day. Hope you're spending it with your lovely lady or your lovely man or your lovely they, them, whatever, dude. Gender is not even real anymore, which is fine. Be whatever you want to be. I don't care. Just be nice. Be a nice person. How about that? You can be whatever you want to be. Be cool. People kind of shit on Valentine's Day. People are like, oh, Valentine's Day, it's like just a corporate holiday trying to get our money. But I'm like, dude, no. New spin on Valentine's Day, okay? I like it. Okay? You ready for me to get romantic and sappy? Too bad. If you're not ready for it, I'm doing it anyways. It's a nice excuse just to, talk about how much you love each other, right? It's an excuse to do something nice, shower your partner with affection and love and sweet shit. It's like, dude, you should be doing that all the time, but if there's a day that forces you to do that, good, man. Do it. What am I doing? Taking my lady out to a lovely dinner. Not tonight, because you can't do it on the day of, right? On Valentine's Day, that feels crazy. So we're doing it later in the week. Because, yeah, man, it's nice. It's sweet. Here's a little relationship advice. Something that Kaylee and I started doing that I really like is this thing. She's a therapist, so she knows a lot of mental health stuff and good practices. Is we do this thing. It's called and she didn't come up with this, but she relayed this information to me, and I love this. It's basically this thing called what are you pulling today? What that means is where are you at today, kind of mentally, physically, spiritually, where are you at? 100 being top of the world, couldn't be better, and like, a 10 being like your lowest of lows. And what that does basically is tell each other kind of where you're at and how to kind of best support each other. Like if the person's pulling higher and one person's pulling lower, the person who's pulling higher should be more there for the lower person. Does that make sense? Like let's say I'm pulling an 80 today and Kaylee's pulling a 40. Your boy's got to step up and support her. Be there for her, help her with things, support, and vice versa. If you're both pulling like a 40, then you shouldn't feel responsible to be helping each other as much because you're both kind of not doing super great. But if you're both pulling high, both pulling 90s, vibes are high, all good. So use that. I think it's been really helpful for us, and it's a nice way to kind of start the day of what are you pulling? I'm feeling great today, man. I'm pulling very high today. I'm pulling probably like a 90. Really stoked about the Netflix announcement. I've been sitting on that for so long, and so excited to announce tour dates, man. I really can't fucking wait. And slept great last night. Let me say this about sleep, dude. Sometimes if I get less sleep, I feel better. Like if I get 8 hours of sleep, I sometimes wake up feeling shitty. And that's stupid. I probably got 6.5 last night. I feel great. I should pass out. I don't know what that is. I feel like with sleep, it should be the more you get, the better you feel. Like I'll get 8.5, wake up groggy as shit. I'm like, dude, hey, universe, reward me. Reward me for doing the thing I'm supposed to for a long period of time. So I don't know. Do you guys feel like that? What's a good amount of sleep for you guys? Comment on the video like where you sleep, where your kind of your sleeping schedule's at, where you feel like you're in your prime time. Oh my God. Am I off today? I don't really know. It's so funny when you just do a solo podcast. I'm just talking shit. But I appreciate you guys being here with me. And I talked about a few things today. And also we got some life advice that I'm going to close the show with. Pumped about that, man. I want to do these life advice segments because I really like it. And I like listening to other people give advice. So I wanted to do my own version of that. So if you have a life advice question, please DM the podcast page at WillBePodcast and pick some good ones. So anyways, look, man, I went to Phoenix this last weekend. I opened for my boy, Too Fine Blaustein, at 2 different clubs, and it was so goddamn fun, man. Shout out to an hour-long flight. You know what I mean? Like, we went to Ohio a couple weeks ago. That was a bit of a schlep. Phoenix from LA? No problem. All good. But was it a rainstorm when we flew in? Yeah. Was it scary? Yeah. Dude, I keep flying into bad weather and it sucks, man. Because I've talked about this, man. I get nervous when I fly, even though I shouldn't be, because I do it so much. You'd think I would be unfazed. You'd think I could fly that thing at this point. Still get nervous. Not fun. And Phoenix should be a place where it's like beautiful all the time. You land and it's beautiful, sunny, cactus, 100 degrees. No, it's freezing and raining. What? Tell you what, man. Every time I pack to go on a trip, I pack as if twice a day I'm going to shit my pants. Never happened once. Never happened once. Oh, I'm gone for the weekend? 13 pairs should do it. It's at the point where I'm packing as if it's not will I shit my pants, it's when I shit my pants for the third time, I'll be good. And sometimes I'll bring an extra pair to the comedy club. I stand by that choice. Because who knows? You eat one too many chicken tendies, blow your undies out. It's showbiz, baby. Double espresso? Make it a triple. Your boy got the Undie protection package. Let it rip. Better safe than sorry. I don't know, man. I actually really like. You know what I love doing? I love packing. I love packing when I'm going back home. Packing to go on a trip is annoying because you're trying to think like, all right, what outfit am I going to want to wear 3 days from now? Like, that's what it's like for shows, because I'll think about what show outfit I want. I literally have to think like, okay, in 4 days, what am I going to want to wear in front of people? I hate that decision. But I like packing the stuff back up into my suitcase to leave the place, because it's almost like it's satisfying. I love when everything's everywhere and then all of a sudden it's in the suitcase, it's zipped up and there's nothing everywhere. It's so satisfying to me. But man, we stayed in Airbnb in Phoenix. That was awesome, dude. It was stocked up with stuff. Like they had coffee, Keurig cups, like little creamers. They had like 20 bottles of water in the fridge. Shout out to Airbnbs that give you the necessary things, right? Throw some ketchup in there. Throw some hot sauce in there. Waters, creamers, done. Happy. It was really nice, man. Oh, and dude, I'm a big white noise guy. Speaking of sleeping, I need white noise. People that sleep in silence blows my mind. Because yeah, I'm a bit of a light sleeper, so every little noise I'm hearing and I get woken up easily. And dude, no, I'm white noise all day. And I found the best white noise machine I've ever used. Actually, Kaylee found it and we bought it for her place. And it's so good. I bought another one to travel with. Like it's again of it's another thing of like why have I not been doing this more? Like I got these nice noise canceling headphones for Christmas. Kaylee got me those too. And I'm like, why have I not? I traveled for a year straight and didn't have noise canceling headphones. What the fuck am I doing? Same thing goes for the white noise machine. I was like, dude, why have I not been traveling with this? And this isn't even an ad. I'm going to literally put the link for this white noise machine in the description for you guys. That's how much I support this thing. It's like $30. You can get it on Amazon. It's so good. Again, not even an ad. I just am looking out for you guys. Look, man, the weekend was so fun. My boy Michael Blaustein, the motherfucker sells like 2 billion tickets now. So every show is crazy, sold out. He sold out this club, Stand Up Live in Phoenix, and that thing holds 550 people. He sold out 4 shows. And then they added one Thursday at a different Phoenix club called the Desert Ridge Improv. That seats almost 300. That sold out. And they were like, can we add more? And he's like, no. Dude, it's crazy. It's like 2,500 tickets. And I just get to be along for the ride. I get to go up in front of 600 people and just work out jokes. It's awesome. And I feel like I've come on here. I feel like I've come on here. I talked about opening a lot lately, which is kind of weird because I am a headliner and people at the shows are often like, hey, you're good. What? Like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, because I'm also a headliner. But but this is what's going on in my life right now. And I will only be doing one more weekend with him. And then I'm back. Then I'm off doing my own thing. So it is a little weird as a headliner to come on this podcast being like, I'm an opener. But it doesn't even feel like I'm an opener because I'm just doing these crazy packed rooms, and it's really cool, man. The shows were just awesome. The first show is I posted that the AirPods bit on my Instagram with the guy who had both AirPods in the audience. That was from the first show in Phoenix with him. I didn't used to bring my camera to his shows, but lately I've been doing it just because I oftentimes will get some sort of crowd interaction, and so I'm really glad I did because the people really liked that clip, as did I. And it's cool, man. This is a club where it's the same manager who manages like the Tempe Improv, which I played last September. It's cool to see these people again because keeping those connections alive is very important to me. Like you see the same bookers, you see the same managers, and you're like, hey, and they're like, hey, and catching up, and oh, we love, we got to find time to come back, and blah blah blah. It's like that just makes it easier for my agent to be like, hey, you just saw Will, let's find him some dates, right? I guess that's literally the definition of networking, but it was just cool to see some familiar faces that I have a really good rapport with. Good word. And yeah, the first show we did at that smaller club I was so happy about it, and I've realized it's not even. I'm at the point now, and I think other comedians feel this way after a while, of how I feel about a set is not even necessarily how great I did on stage, how great the jokes did. It's how do I feel about the version of myself that I presented? How do I feel about who I was on stage? Not just did I kill the hardest. Well, you obviously want that too, but it's not just that. It's how did I handle myself? How did I feel in the flow, in the moment? Was I talking too fast? Did I say anything weird to the crowd? Like just the whole thing. And that was one of those shows where I loved who I was on stage and I felt really great about myself. And that's what leads me to have a really good set in my mind. And then we went to the next club, Stand Up Live, and dude, this is like one of the best run clubs I've ever been to in my life. It is a tight ship. The food is amazing. The room is built correctly. The sound is amazing. This club is phenomenal. Everyone who runs it, it's a tight ship. Granted, when they have someone coming in who sold a bajillion tickets, they're going to be like, locked in for that weekend, right? This place was so dope that the owner of these clubs, this guy named Matt, shout out, he is like the coolest guy, and he's kind of like one of the big dogs in the industry, meaning like he runs like a few of these really big clubs, and he's a kind of a big deal. And I never really met him. I had like a brief phone interaction with him one time with another, doesn't matter how, but I got to kind of meet him for the first time, and he was like, remembered me and was like, hey, again, keeping those connections alive. He was basically like, hey, do we have you on the books for this year? And I'm like, not yet. He's like, email me, let's do it. And then I'm like, boom, text my agent, hey, just talk to so-and-so, boom. And she's like, got it, hitting them up. Seamless. This is some business shit that no one thinks about with stand-up. Keeping those connections alive. And he was the coolest because he got Michael gifts for selling out the whole weekend. Dude, he got him like this giant, beautiful bottle of tequila. It's that like Casa Azul. I hope they don't mind that I'm saying this, but it's only just giving credit to such a nice gesture. But it's like a big thing of tequila. He got him a Kobe rookie card in like the plastic case. Like the most thoughtful, amazing gifts. Just wanted to give a big shout out to people doing really nice things for other people. I love the vibes. Such good vibes, man. Honestly, the food at this place was so unreal that I took pictures of it to show you guys, and I'm going to scoot this way, and hopefully the pictures will come up right about here in this area. I got like a honey glazed salmon. I got a shrimp thing. Dude, this yellowfin tuna. Look at this shit. I hope you can see this the right way. What is this, a 5-star restaurant? Who's booking this place? Gordon Ramsay? Look at this shit. Delicious, man, because there's so many times you go to the club and you're just eating bullshit. So many chicken tendies, so many burgers, just nothing good. Wings, just treating your body like a goddamn dumpster. And to go to a place like that and to eat that well, we ate so well, that's like what we would have gone out at a different restaurant to eat at. Do you know what I mean? Didn't even feel like we're at a comedy club. Another thing I want to mention about when you open shows, and this is something I've learned just through experience, and something that I really like doing, is the summary is that I like when the audience knows what's happening. Let me explain. When you go see a stand-up show, let's say these people go to Michael's show, right? And then I walk out on stage, and I'm like, hey, there's a good chunk of people that are going to be like, who the fuck is this guy? I pay to see Michael. What's happening right now? Who is this? I don't know what's happening. A lot of people, it's their first comedy show. Same thing happens in my shows. When you have an internet following, a lot of times it's these people's first comedy show, which can be really good or also really annoying because they don't know how to do it, how to be there, right? But what I basically did is when I got on stage, I was like, hey, I'm going to warm you guys up, do some jokes, and then bring out Michael. Cool? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, great. You don't have a choice. and I do that because now it's like, I feel like the audience is like, cool, okay, I know what this is now. And I almost do that selfishly because it's like, I feel comfortable that they feel comfortable. Does that make sense? Like, I know that they understand what's going on, which makes me take a breath and feel more comfortable. Same thing goes for like a show. Let's say you go see a show in New York or LA or Chicago, and let's say there's 8 comedians on the lineup, but you don't know that. So you're sitting there watching comedian after comedian after comedian all do like 10-minute sets, and you're probably thinking, how many are there? How long is this show? And so I really like that when I used to host shows like that, is to explain the situation. Hey, we got 2 more. Or hey, you guys ready for your last comic? People are like, oh, cool. Thanks for telling me. Because I thought this was going to go on for 3 hours. I like to know what's going on. That's also a personal thing with me, where if I'm like walking to a place with other people, I'm like, hey, tell me how far we're walking. I need to know. I don't want to just be, where are we? No. Tell me how far until we get to the place. I want to know. It was just so fun to work out jokes literally in front of like 600 people. And I was really proud of myself this weekend, man. I came up with so many new, I call them tags. That's what they're called, which is basically like, you hit a punchline, and then after that can be another laugh and another laugh, let's say, right? And those other laughs are called tags. You're tagging up the joke. You got the punchline, and then you go boom, boom, a couple more things. And I found a few newer tags in jokes that I've been doing for years, which was awesome. When you find something like that, you're like, oh, it just elevates the joke. And it keeps you engaged too. Because I've talked about this before, when you're doing older jokes a lot, you kind of get sick of them. You're used to what they get. It's not as fun anymore. It's not as exciting. But when you add a couple, like one or two new things in there, it's like, ooh, now all of a sudden, it's kind of an adrenaline rush. You're like, ooh, this new part, this new feeling. So I found a lot of that. It was so fun, man. Really fun. And I even had this one joke where I was doing last year a little bit. It's about when I went to Canada, specifically Toronto, and the Border Patrol guy like grilled me on what I was doing there. And I don't want to give away the joke, but anyways, I was doing that joke for a while, and like there was just one part missing, and I kind of just stopped doing it. And then I found a new idea for that, and I did it, and it did great. And now all of a sudden I'm like, cool, that joke that I put away can now go back into my act as a very strong joke. It's such a good feeling. Because when I put it away, I was like, damn, like I feel like I lost that feeling, that idea I had is almost gone now. And the fact that I got it back, so satisfying. I hope that makes sense. I know this is getting a little comedy nerdy, but that's what this whole thing is. So hope that makes sense. Just had a great time there. It was nice to just be on like not 3 hours ahead on East Coast time, because you'll wake up at noon and have like 3 hours before you got to get ready. So it's so nice just to have the day, like just like Saturday, I just like sat on the couch, watched basketball, drank a coffee, chilled. It was so nice. Oh, it was nice. Dude, we went to this breakfast place, and I ordered an omelet. And you ever order something from someone and you're like, oh, they're not going to get this right. Based off how they're receiving this information, there's no way they're nailing it. I was ordering from a guy at like a kiosk screen, like you walk up to get a to-go order, and so he has the screen that he's punching the things in, and I was explaining a very simple omelet order. And as I was listing off the ingredients, he was like looking at it like not going, yep, got that, cool, got that. He was just like it's dismantling a bomb. He's like, simple. I wanted sausage, mushroom, onion, avocado. That's it. Simple things. But dude, he was like, you said you wanted bacon? No? Give me 1 second. I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to get an omelet, am I? There's no way. It took 3 different guys to get the order wrong. He got backup. He got reinforcements for my omelet order. It took 3 guys to give me eggs Benedict. That's what I got. I knew it. I told the guys. I was like, hey, no way this is going to be right. Not to their face. I wasn't like, these idiots. No, I just was like, there's no way. And of course, I get back. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But was it delicious? Yes, it was delicious. I haven't had eggs Benedict maybe ever. And it made me annoyed that it was so good. I was like, damn it, why is this why is this better than what I wanted originally? How dare you get it wrong and give me a thing I like more? Dude, just had such a fun time in Phoenix though, man. I feel like I legitimately like leveled up as a comedian this weekend. I know that sounds dramatic, but I loved who I was up there. I loved how comfortable I felt. I loved finding new material, not getting thrown off by things not working as well. Stayed in the pocket. Just proud of myself, man. You gotta pat yourself on the back when you do well in life, man. You gotta. Life's too hard. Give yourself props. And I know I've said this before, but it's so crazy to watch one of your, well, not you, my longest and best friends in comedy become one of the biggest comedians in the world. That's crazy to watch. And I'm so grateful that I've been able to watch that firsthand. You know, like I'm watching him in these moments, these kind of raw and vulnerable moments, like right after he gets off stage or right when he gets these ticket counts or when shows sell out. It's like, man, I'm experiencing what it's like to literally be one of the top selling comics in the world. And I'm so grateful for that. It's so special to witness that and witness how you're just like, man, like this is crazy. And I've had moments like that at my level of being like sitting back and be like, man, this is nuts. But it's so cool to watch that for him because I know how hard he's worked. He's struggled for years, and now he's like literally one of the top guys. And it's so fun to watch. I'm so grateful to have been on that road with him for a while, man. It's fucking awesome. If he comes to your town, please go see him. He's a monster, and he works so hard, and he deserves all of it. Shout out to Michael Blaustein. All right, man, we're flying through this, huh? We are flying through this. Oh, dude, right before life advice, I want to do this real quick. I saw a really cool comment on the last the last podcast. And someone asked, what kind of personality traits do you think make a successful comedian? I'm sure one size does not fit all, but curious what you think. It's a great question, so I just wanted to just answer that. I think the first word that comes to mind for what traits make a good comedian is discipline. I think that's the number one thing. Because you have to be so locked in and get up every night and work on jokes every day, and you cannot be lazy. If you want to do this for a career, I think it's different if you're kind of treating it like a hobby, not really sure if you want to do it or not. I don't think that applies. I think if you're one of those people, just do it, have fun, see how it makes you feel. But if you're one of those people that's my dream is to be a comedian, then like, bro, you got to be so fucking disciplined and super ambitious. You have to believe that you can do it. You can believe that you can be a killer, right? But it takes so much discipline and just being able to deal with the highs and lows. Because I've always said stand-up is the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. So it's like, can you deal with those lows? A lot of people can't. I didn't think I could in some moments. It gets sad. And bombing on stage is so brutal sometimes, especially at the beginning. Because you're like, am I not cut out for this? So you have to be really, I think a good word for that is like strong-willed. I think that's a good word for it. And just, I mean, this is going to sound kind of a little woo-woo, but I think just like empathy and understanding of the human condition. I think just understanding people and things that, you know, they may think, kind of like a relatable things to other people, you know, and making sure not to cross too many lines, right? To if you're going to offend people, you have to do it in a kind of a classy way. Again, kind of having that empathy for how people feel, I think is very important, because what you're saying is going to make them feel things. So I think having a level of empathy is really important, as well as being observational. I think that's another quality, is you have to have your antennas up in the world, observing things, taking them in, writing things down on your phone, just being very, accepting of whatever life gives you and kind of, and being able to process it and create art out of it. It sounds like the Rick Rubin book. Did you guys read that or listen to it on audiobook? You should, dude. It's really good. It's on Spotify. If you have Spotify like premium or whatever, the Rick Rubin book's on there. It's pretty great. I would recommend it. It's a lot of that type of stuff of like, being, for anyone who's creative, like, experiencing things and using yourself as like a vessel to kind of, I lost it, to like come up with ideas from that experience that you live life in. Damn, that was clunky. I think you know what I was trying to say though. Let's do life advice before I go. Always going to keep this anonymous. Again, DM the podcast page, will be podcast. Got a great one here, but also a really hard one. This is not an easy one. So, hey man, I like the advice segment idea. I've got a scenario for you. I've got a weird, clingy friend who I can't seem to shake. I told him off a few years ago for acting weird when I didn't answer him for a few days when he sent me like 50 messages about it with crying emojis just because I was busy for a few days. But now he's joined my new friend group at my gym, and I'm not rude to him, but he doesn't seem to get the idea that I still don't really want to talk to him. How do I get him to stop talking to me without being an asshole? He also always offers to drive me to work, so maybe I should stop accepting that. Tough one, man. First off, I would stop taking rides from this guy. Find an excuse to get out of that. I think that makes me immediately feel uncomfortable, is that he asked you to carpool and you are just saying yes, even though you do not want to. So I think first step, find a way to stop accepting that ride. I don't know what that is. Maybe you say you got a cool new thing with your car and cool new speakers that you want to, do where you want to enjoy. Maybe you're like, oh, I've started doing this thing where I call my best friend on the way to work. I call my mom on the way to work or on the way home from work. And it's just, I'd prefer to do that alone. So like that's first, is set that boundary. But the whole thing is really hard because you don't want to be rude to this person. You don't want to be an asshole, but you also like don't want to be around them. And from what you're saying, he's sending you 50 messages about you kind of telling him off that you don't want to hang out, or you're busy for a few days and he sends you 50 messages about it. I'll say this as respectfully as I can, but this person may be a little bit unstable, maybe, with all due respect. And again, just personally, I get a little weary of people like that. I don't ever want to be, with people like that. I think you have to be very sensitive. And I think if you blow up and you get really mad at him, then it's like, I don't know, man. If he's a little unstable, that makes me nervous. So I think you need to use a lot of tact when it comes to this person. And, I think I wouldn't be rude, but I also wouldn't be overly nice. I think setting boundaries is a good idea. Again, not doing the rides anymore. Just setting boundaries of like, maybe you need to explain again that, hey, I can't hang out with you this day. I have X, Y, and Z going on, And there's also a few options here. I think you kind of just keep him at a distance and hope he just gets the idea eventually, right? It's kind of what I just said is doing the same thing you've been doing. Set your boundaries, create a little distance. Hopefully he picks up on it. There's another situation where what I would probably do is, well, you can, tell him off again, which is, I don't know, man. That's a little, you already did. So it's like, you don't want to be too much of an asshole. But what I would honestly do in the situation is, you said he's joined your new friend group at the gym. I would confide in this new friend group about this dude. See what they think. See if they feel the same. See if they have any ideas of what to do. Maybe they can help the situation. You can tell them. I mean, again, this is a new group, so you may feel uncomfortable being like super vulnerable, but you can tell them like, yo, this guy, like, let's call him Steve. I'm like, yo, Steve is like, he won't leave me alone. I'm kind of getting weirded out. What do I do? And maybe those guys are like, oh man, yeah, Steve is kind of weird. Here's what I've done. Or here's what I think you should do. Or, oh, we can maybe help. I would maybe confide in those dudes. See what they think. And look, man, I've been in a similar situation. A dude I worked at the same company with years ago was a little bit unstable, made me very anxious to be around. And I had to kind of just prioritize myself and remove myself from situations that made me feel uncomfortable. I never told him off. I never said, hey, dude, you're kind of being weird right now. I just, again, prioritize my own needs, remove myself, set that boundary. Never told him off, right? I think he probably just got the idea that I was just not trying to be friends with him without telling him like, hey, I don't want to be friends with you, because that's not cool. I would say talk to the friend group, see what they think, and get some allies on this, man, because it is weird. And you sound like a really good dude, so you don't want to hurt this guy's feelings, and I'm not telling you to. So I would say confide in the dudes, set some boundaries. Don't take the rides home anymore. Figure that out. That I'm stressed even thinking about it. So good luck, man. Feel free to follow up. I want to always welcome follow-ups because I feel like, me and the listeners are a little bit invested in these stories. So good luck. I hope you can figure that out. Feel free to write back in. And again, if you want to do some little life advice, just DM the podcast page @willbepodcast. And I saw a message where someone was like, "You don't check your DMs." Yeah, don't send it to my personal account. Send it to the podcast page. So that's the pod, dude. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you liked it. Hope I wasn't too rapid fire. Sometimes I feel like when I'm doing it alone, I gotta keep it moving for you guys, man. 35 minutes. Boom, boom, boom. We're out of here. Netflix show is on sale right now in the description. May 3rd. Tickets I don't think will last long. So if you want to go, I would really suggest you get tickets now. And that's all I got, man. Please subscribe to the pod. Happy Valentine's Day. And I will see you next week.